Hi, everyone. My name is Paulina Van, and I am the author of Regala Healing. And you first met me a couple of weeks ago on September 26, 2020, when I live streamed my book launch of Regala Healing. It's a compilation of 100 healing poems, which were given to me by my creator. They were channeled through my soul and my spirit as gifts to the world for healing. And I will put the link to that live stream below this video so you can access it if you haven't already. I plan to come to you on a regular basis to read some of the poems or regalos and get your feedback, or just have you have a place to come to listen as I read. The first one I'm going to share with you is one that I shared at both book launches, and it got the most traction. It generated some of the most heartfelt feelings, and so I'm going to read it to you and discuss my perspectives on it, and then ask you to comment also. So it's entitled "Being Vulnerable." And just as a precursor, vulnerability is exposing yourself, and chances that you might get loved, or you most likely feel that you could get hurt in some way. And so it's on page 71 for those of you who already have the book. Being vulnerable is frightening. Being vulnerable is enlightening. Being vulnerable draws others near. Being vulnerable creates fear. Being vulnerable transforms my thinking. Being vulnerable gives me an inkling. Being vulnerable is living. Being vulnerable creates giving. Being vulnerable is turning within. Being vulnerable is how I win. So just sit with that for a little bit and think about times when you were vulnerable and times when you weren't vulnerable. And what was the difference? What was the experiences like? The questions that came from the audience during the both book launches had to do with how did I uh, get to be so vulnerable? Because this Regala Healing book is all about my life, and it's unfiltered, and so there are three things that I'd like to share with you today. The first is I began to love myself more, and it didn't just happen. I had to purposefully say, I'm going to love me more. And one of the things that I did on a daily basis, I don't do it as daily now, but I did do it on a daily basis for years, is look in the mirror and say to myself this Hawaiian prayer. And I'm going to pronounce it slowly because I don't want to mispronounce it. So it's called Opano. See, I told you. Opanopono. So Opanopono. I'll put it in the chat so you can see how it's spelt, and maybe you can pronounce it better. But it goes like this. Again, you look in the mirror, look yourself in the eyes. You may want to take your glasses off, because that's what I did, and just get as close as I could and look myself in the eye and say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I tell you from experience, just try it. and see what happens. But again, on a daily basis. And how long did that take? It maybe took 15, 20 seconds. Okay, so try it. Second practice that I did and still do is self-compassion. And that is simply treating yourself like you would your best friend. So we have thoughts that are not always nourishing to ourselves. You know, we have this voice, and you want to turn that voice around and be more kind to yourself, more forgiving to yourself. And so, again, that takes work and concentration, but I believe you can do it. You can turn that negative thinking around. Okay. And then lastly, my faith. I am a Christian. You may have another belief, or may not be organized religion, but whatever you believe in that's bigger than you, that you know that you're not alone at this, can be a source to help you to be more vulnerable, because it's a safe place. You know that you can land there if being vulnerable somehow makes you uncomfortable or even feeling hurt. So that's my spiel for today, and I just hope you will subscribe and give me your feedback. And so my question is, what can you do to be more vulnerable? Or what have you done to be more vulnerable? So please put your comments in the chat, and remember always that love lives within your heart. Thank you for joining me today.